I can't believe that we're already 3 weeks into this. Welcome to week 3 out of 20 of building the healthiest version of me. And I'm back in my flat with Maya. So let's get straight into it. I have my new watch, finally. So the drama with Apple and DPD is mostly over. I did leave my iPad on the flight back from Copenhagen, so it seems that I am only allowed one nice Apple product at a time, but we're staying calm and hopefully that will all be sorted by the end of this week. So training and nutrition this week. It is my time of the month and I've struggled with it this month. Some months are absolutely fine. My period is pretty regular. I plan for when I'm due on and just try and make day 1 of my cycle a nice easy day. This month was not a nice easy day. I was supposed to train. I had 8 clients and I think this might be the heaviest flow I've ever had. TMI, I'm sorry, but it just was not working for me. So I've only trained twice this week and I've ran twice this week. I did surprise myself with the second run. I did not feel up to it whatsoever and did bleed through halfway through. But I managed to run a total of 4K with a 1 kilometer walk halfway through. So all in all, pretty good. So the running side of things has been fine this week and training has just not been where I want it to be. It is the first week of a new block, so all my lifts are nice and easy, low RPEs, just to kind of set the base for this block. But I have obviously missed the final session of the week because I didn't train on Friday when I was supposed to, and it's fine. These things happen. I try and minimize how much these things happen because there was a period of time at the end of last year where my training just wasn't a priority where it should have been, and I was skipping sessions or only doing half of a session and it just wasn't okay. So this year I've really tried to make an effort to at least get all my sessions in, finish all my sessions and put less pressure on maybe getting them bang on, but still just moving and doing something. So I was a little bit upset that that didn't happen this week. Thank you. Great timing. But it's okay. Next week I will be back completely on it, and the easiest thing to do is just make sure that I've scheduled them into my days, which I had done this week, but I just really could not bring myself to train on Friday. So yeah, we are, as I said, in week 1 of a new block, so I'm hoping that this block will bring a nice squat because we are back to singles on primary squat day. Last block was doubles, so hopefully have built up a nice bit of strength through that, and now gonna see if we can push a nice single at the end of the block. What else do I have to tell you? This one's gonna be nice and speedy. I can feel it. My nutrition this week, I would be lying if I said that it's never perfect. And it has been all right, but maybe just not as good as I want it to be. One of the things I struggle with the most around my period is craving chocolate. And this week we have given in a little bit, so a couple of biscuits here and there and a couple of chocolate bars here and there, which is absolutely fine and is just 1 week, but sometimes I have a much better handle on it, and I will just be able to add bits of chocolate in to like my oats in my breakfast, and that will kind of be enough. Whereas this week it's just been the end of the day before bed, need something sweet. So it could have been better. I have had some really nice breakfasts this week, which I put into my reel, and I am still using my meal prep from my last vlog. So all in all, food has been fine. I have actually been tracking, and my average calories have been 2,000-ish a day, and my protein I have managed to bring up to about 120 grams a day. Now, I haven't done anything drastically different to add in those extra 20 grams of protein. Sometimes it really does just depend on what I've meal prepped and how that fits in. So I think it's just been better meal, like higher protein meals subconsciously. So yeah, tracking this week's been alright, around 2,000 calories and 120 grams of protein a day, which isn't too bad. I haven't been weighing myself recently, so I'm gonna try and do that again, starting Monday, every day this week, just see how I'm getting on. I'm not too fussed at this point what it says, but it would be nice to see. I guess I should probably use this video to just give a little insight guidance on training through your menstrual cycle. And I have known people that drastically change their training week to week depending on where they are in their cycle. And yes, you do obviously feel different throughout the month, with energy levels predominantly being the thing that fluctuates, and with that your strength. And it is completely normal to not feel great around your period, but as I do with my own training and with my clients, is basically just tracking. I track my cycle, and alongside that track how I'm feeling during training with where I'm at with my cycle. And I basically just adjust my expectations to training. I don't change the session itself or what I'm doing itself in that sense. I just know that if I'm coming up to my period and I have a session where everything feels a little bit heavier than it should, that's okay, because it is just where I'm at. I also just try and really focus on all the externals. Am I getting enough sleep? Am I eating properly? And am I drinking enough water? Because that will also have a huge effect. So if I'm doing everything that I can control to the best of my ability, if you like, then the one thing that I can't control, which is how my period makes me feel, is more manageable because I've done everything else right in a way. And that's all I really say to my clients. Like, if you're feeling like everything's a little bit more difficult today, we will just take it a little bit easier, but ultimately it's fine, it's expected. Make sure you're getting some good night's sleep, take things a little bit slower, eat good food, and that's all we can really do. We have to deal with it every single month, so there's, in my opinion, no point changing things every single time. It is just adjusting to how you feel. And it's exactly the same as you would even without your period. If you had a bad night's sleep and hadn't eaten enough, you would just still try and get your session done, but your expectation would be a little bit lower. And if things didn't quite go, you know, if you didn't hit a PB that day, it's not surprising, that kind of thing. So that is what I kind of chat to my clients about around their period, which I think you guys can take on board as well if that's helpful. But I also know people that change their calorie goal around their period as well, and I also don't think it should be a like planned thing, you know, like the week of your period add another 200 calories, because if you're feeling fine in the calorie range that you're normally eating, which you should do, then there's no reason really to change it. Yes, you feel lower in energy, and if you're training and you need that little bit extra, then I'm not going to tell you to stop yourself, but I think you have to weigh up whether you need the extra calories or you're just feeling there and you just want them. So everybody's different, but I personally don't change any of my nutritional training around my cycle. I do just manage my expectations for what I am going to get out of my training, and as long as I eat all my kind of meals that are set as I would normally, then I have a better chance of not eating rubbish as well. Whereas if I skip a meal because I'm feeling really tired and like I just don't really want anything, then later on in the day I'm more likely to eat something rubbish. And I think it's just being aware of that. I would 100% recommend tracking your cycle. I use Natural Cycles, which basically tracks your cycle based on your temperature. So before my new watch, I have a thermometer next to the bed, which I would use every morning to take my temperature. My watch now does that for me, which is super handy because my memory of taking my memory for taking my temperature was not always amazing. So this definitely makes it easier because I do sleep with this every single night. But I use Natural Cycles to track my cycle, and would 100% recommend tracking if you don't already. I think that is pretty much my week. It's not been the most amazing week, but I've done what I can, and that's a win in itself. I guess I would really love to know what you guys would like to see through these videos. If you want me to pick kind of one topic of conversation for the video that has come up in my week that you want maybe more of like an education around, so almost like talking about training on your cycle, going a little bit more in depth with topics that are kind of relevant to my week. Whether you do just like me to sit and tell you how my week's been. Obviously some weeks are going to be way more exciting and full on than other weeks. If you're interested in what I do with my clients and their programming, their progress, that kind of thing, I'm also more than happy to go through that. So I guess I would just love to know, so if you can leave a comment below and let me know if you prefer the education side of things, the lifestyle kind of things in the sense of just knowing what my week's been like, or my work side of things, I guess. So just leave one of those words below. Work, education, lifestyle, what do you want to see more of? And I will do my best to accommodate. I, as I just said, have definitely had a bit of a quieter week. Not every week is going to be full of loads of exciting things. If you are still here, please give this a thumbs up. Leave one of those 3 words below. Let me know what you want to see more of. And if you can share the video, I'd also appreciate that. And hopefully you've enjoyed that this is slightly shorter than the rest. You won't have to hear me ramble on for too long. But enjoy the rest of your week, your evening, wherever you're watching this. And I will see you next week. Bye.